Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the work of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. Picking up from where we left off last week, Minister of Housing and Water, the Honourable Colin Crowell, on Monday announced that his ministry will be executing roadworks to the tune of $100 million in several communities along the East Bank, Demerara. This announcement came during an outreach to the Little Diamond, Herstelling Neighbourhood Democratic Council by Minister Crowell and a team of technical officers. He said the project will come under the ministry's Community Road Repair and Enhancement Programme in the 2021 national budget.
Some of these roads will be from Herstelling all the way to, and what I'm speaking here would be from Herstelling to basically Mocha, and where you have that Providence main road, as well as, so that will include Covent Garden and Farm. So you can see improvement immediately in this year.
Minister Crowell also announced that a new well costing approximately $40 million will be constructed at Providence to increase water supply in neighbouring communities. He said the resources have been made available to GWI. Additionally, the Central Housing and Planning Authority will be installing solar streetlights in Farm, Covent Garden and Providence communities. The authority is also reviewing proposals to establish markets in those and other communities along the East Bank, Demerara. Emergency drainage and irrigation work started on Monday in the Pomeroon-Supernam region to alleviate flooding in communities during high tides and torrential rainfall. Minister of Agriculture, the Honourable Zulfikar Mustafa, and a team visited the areas this week.
It will be close to about between $5 to $10 million in emergency work, moving pumps, doing excavation works on the canals. Right now, as I am speaking here, there are 2 machines in the Pomeroon doing critical work in Friendship.
With respect to the community of Charity, Minister Mustafa said waters have since receded significantly due to mechanisms put in place by the Ministry of Agriculture.
In the Pomeroon, I have sent in team instructed the NARI, GLDA to visit the Pomeroon. They have done an assessment, and our 4th set of help will start this week coming. As a matter of fact, I had both the CEO and the DCO of GLDA just now with me here. They will be going to give some help to those chicken farmers that would have lost some of the boards there. And we are looking at NARI. As I said, I pronounced when I went that NARI will give back planting material and chemical and fertilizer. We are committed to those kinds of help.
Guyana has a new field hospital which will be established in the compound of the Centre for Disease Control and Prevention at Liliandal. The field hospital has been donated by the government of Qatar. It arrived on Tuesday evening at the Chedi Jagan International Airport. Minister of Health, the Honourable Dr. Frank Anthony, said the facility would significantly boost Guyana's medical capacity and, once established, will complement operations at the Liliandal facility.
20 of the 60 beds would be like ICU beds. It would have monitors, it would have ventilators so that we'll be able to manage patients who have a more severe or critical form of COVID. So with this donation alone, it would really boost our capacity to manage severely ill and critically ill patients. Currently, our capacity at, say, the Ocean View facility is about 25 for critically or severely ill patients. And by adding another 20 bed of ICU care, that would take it up significantly, almost double it.
Minister Anthony expressed his gratitude to the people and government of Qatar for the donation. The Ministry of Housing and Water will invest over $2 billion in infrastructural works in Region 6 under its 2021 work programme. Minister the Honourable Colin Crowell announced this during an outreach exercise in New Amsterdam.
Last year, you saw us announcing a number of works to commence here in Region number 6 to the tune of $54 million. I can tell you, in our 2021 program, we intend to invest in infrastructure works a minimum of $2 billion in the initial phase. These are for works in Hampshire and Williamsburg, number 75 Village, number 79 Village, Ordnance Fortlands. We also have will be coming on stream the construction of 200 houses, 100 intended for Williamsburg and another 100 here for Fortlands, catering for the low income.
The infrastructural works cater for development of road networks and access to water. The initiative would also create much-needed jobs in the region. The ministry will also be working to address the backlog in the issuance of transports in Regions 5 and 6. In keeping with government's promise, several presidential grants have been awarded to Amerindian communities in Region 8 during a recent visit by Minister of Amerindian Affairs, the Honorable Pauline Sukai. The first check for $1.5 million was handed over to the Monkey Mountain Village Council for construction of a village office. Over in Tuseneng, their presidential grant will be used for a much-needed dining hall for students, and over in Taruka, the grant will be used to purchase a village boat. Minister Sukai, during the 3-day visit, interacted with residents, informing them of government's plans for their communities. She assured them that the government will continue its engagement with the village offices. Minister Sukai also reminded the village councils of their responsibilities.
You are elected to deal with the welfare of the people in your village. You are elected to represent the people in your village. And you are elected also to function in collaboration with the government to ensure that the policies, the program, and the execution of those programs are done to the best of the ability of the agencies that have responsibility for ensuring that government services are accessible to the people.
During the community meetings, the minister also distributed food items, sanitizers, masks, agriculture tools, brush cutters, a solar radio set, and sewing machines. Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa, on Wednesday assured residents and farmers of Lowlands East Coast, Demerara, that flooding would no longer be a hindrance in their villages as a series of extensive drainage and irrigation work would begin in the community next week. The minister's commitment came after residents made several complaints to his office.
I have to deal with the drainage. And I want to assure you from next week, I will send a dedicated machine in this area here. The machine will work until all the drainage are complete.
Minister Mustafa encouraged farmers to work together going forward and to be more proactive in their approach for assistance. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, the Honorable Nigel Darmlal, says his ministry is awaiting the Auditor General's report on the operations of all municipalities, including Georgetown. Since taking office, the minister said he has tried to engage the councillors of the Georgetown Mayor and City Council to discuss the works they have undertaken. However, his attempts were rebuffed, forcing the government to go ahead with works to enhance the city.
I'm aware of a lot of transgressions, financial transgressions, procurement transgressions, legal transgressions that have happened at City Hall over the last year. I've spoken to the mayor on numerous occasions about the conduct of the council, and the council apparently gets into administration, which it has no authority to do. The council basically sets policy, but apparently the council also wants to do the work of the Local Government Commission by hiring and firing and determining the administrative issues of the City Hall.
Minister Darmlal said as a result of the MNCC's non-cooperation, his ministry has gone ahead and partnered with various other ministries to conduct infrastructural works which targets roads, bridges, canals and markets. So far, rehabilitation works have been done on the East Lepenitence, East Rhineveld, and Monrepo markets. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honorable Maber Anil Nandlal, and Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa, on Thursday met rice and cattle farmers of number 52 to 74 villages. The meeting, hosted at the New Market Primary School, Currentine Berbies, was planned to solve land-related issues and aid the development of the agriculture sector.
We practice governance in the fields. We promise to take government to the people. Right across this country, you have land issues festering between and amongst the citizens. Farmers, rice farmers, cattle farmers, and cash farmers right across Guyana. I have been partnering with the Minister of Agriculture to travel the country and to address these problems as they arise.
Meanwhile, Minister Mustafa said the visit to the Lotus Valley was to address issues regarding 1,000 acres of land in that area. The visiting team suggested that the farmers form a cooperative society to collectively own the land. However, the farmers said they prefer the land be divided among them.
They agree with those 21 names that are listed on that list, but we have heard now there are an additional 7 persons have to add on to that list. So we have asked the region to work along and establish the number of persons that have to get these leases. So what we'll be doing, we agree that we will give out individual leases to the farmers there.
Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Frank Anthony, says much more emphasis needs to be placed on nutrition in Guyana. The ministry on Thursday launched the Presidential Commission on Non-Communicable Diseases, and though its mandate is to raise awareness about chronic diseases and to advise government on policies and legislation, nutrition counseling, Minister Anthony said, would be another area of major focus.
We got to educate the public on what is nutritious. I think a lot of people have the misconception that sometimes you go and you have fast food and that's good. Occasionally that's not a bad thing to have, but we have to emphasize the importance of having fruits and vegetables and things like that in your diet because that's an important part of your diet. So teaching people how to eat and what to eat is an important part of nutrition now.
Minister Anthony said a lot of work has to be done in this area. However, all these ideas will be executed within the next few years in an effort to avoid premature deaths resulting from poor nutrition. The Ministry of Health's capacity was on Friday morning boosted with a donation of 2 solar refrigerators and 50 vaccine carriers from the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. Minister, the Honorable Dr. Frank Anthony, thanked the organization for the timely donation.
We are very pleased that very quickly, almost on the second day of your arrival here, that you were assisting us with vaccine carriers and, of course, the 2 solar fridges. I think they would complement what we already have, and we look forward to working along with you.
Newly appointed UNICEF area representative to Guyana and Suriname, Mr. Nicholas Prawn, said while the equipment will be primarily used for the COVID-19 vaccination campaign, it will also contribute to the sustainability of a broader immunization initiative. The donation comes as the country is ramping up preparation for the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine. That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.